Well, what I'd like to do in this short film now is show you about painting smaller paintings, not quite miniatures but certainly very much smaller. The largest of these is only about 10 inches by 8 inches. In this case we're going to paint this little woodland scene here, and I should put a few primroses into it as well just to give it a bit of light on the left. Very often framers have offcuts at the end and they can be persuaded to make up small frames for you. Having them made up from these offcuts with glass gives you a nice cheap frame that's much cheaper than commissioning them normally. And it's quite nice to put oils underneath glass. You don't have to, of course, because oils can be varnished. But in this case, as I say, with these offcuts of framing I've had made up, we get some quite nice. Some of the frames I've had to paint myself to get the colours I want. Others are already traditional commercial frames, like the gilt one you'll see. They do make a very nice little present, and they are affordable and within the range of many of the tourists I have coming through here. Anyway, we'll show you a quick way of painting just using 2 brushes, one little 1/4 inch flat and a round. A very simple way of painting with oils to produce these very quickly by blocking and blending, by blocking in areas and then painting over. The hardboard doesn't need priming in this case. We can paint straight onto it, and it dries very quickly, or superficially dries. It soaks into the board, which means that I can work quite fast. Right, here we go then. I'm going to start with my little 1/4 inch flat. Got some terps and my paint set out beside me. What I want to do first is just work out the composition. And you'll see how quickly this paint dries into this. So just quickly, a very basic composition to see where I'm putting what. The river comes along here. Just to draw it out. I don't need to use pencil for this job. Right, I want to start off with this light colour behind of the sunlight coming through the leaves. And for that I'm going to use white and some lemon yellow, because it's a nice cool yellow for that background. So you see how easily the paint can be applied. This soaks in very quickly, so it uses quite a bit of paint, but I use it quite thinly with the terps, as I don't see any point in priming this board for this job. Don't need to. Beautiful golden sunlight coming down. So you see I've left the lemon yellow to get a little bit lighter there. I'm going to go back to my white again and add some of that to it. Much lighter down here. As the sunlight comes through, we can get the effect of these leaves and branches here. Right, now before I start painting any more of the green leaves, I want to come in with the trunks of the trees here, which are a mixture of greeny greys, because they're in the sunlight and they're not that dark. So I'm going to take some cobalt blue for the moment, for the darkest, and a little touch of burnt umber. But for the moment I just have to paint these darks in here. When you've got a colour on your brush, obviously it saves a lot of time in mixing, cleaning the brushes, to use that colour, put it on when you've got it there. Does it not? But this whole area here is going to have to be dark soon, but just use this bit for the moment. And this painting will suddenly come together. It'll almost suddenly finish as well, it'll just be there. So the hardboard just showing through, so I know where I'm going to put the other objects. So just filling in, almost painting by numbers, isn't it? Not quite, but not far off, I think. I've added a little touch of light blue and some white here to this brown now, just a little touch. Look how fast we can work. So I'm going to use some white, some cobalt and the brown again, and a little bit of rose into there, just to give me that blue-grey of the shadowed birch tree here. And I need to make a little bit lighter blue, start coming up that edge, to give the feeling of the birch coming around here, mottled edge of the birch. Nice light silver birch. Perhaps a little more pink into there as well up here. Now I'm going to come back and change my brushes, because it's time to use the round brush now. I'm painting the rest of these tree trunks with our blue-grey. Little adjustment. Right, now let's look at these trees, shall we? We have one coming down here to join up there, and that comes all the way down through here. Easy as that. A lot of these in the background, some of them are a bit bluer, so I'll put a bit more blue into there, I think. I'll have a mixture with a bit more blue in. I'm going to put a bit of cobalt blue into my mixture there now. But these background trees, because they are a bit bluer, look at the difference that makes for those ones in the background. They're cooler. All of these coming through, lots and lots of them, all crisscrossing behind here. If we get the paint mix just right, nice and fluid, plenty of taps in it. Then our branches are nice and easy to paint as well. Always remember going from thin to thick. Branches always start thick at the base and go thinner, unless they've got a disease or malad, or they will always do that. If we let the paint go a bit thinner and lighter as the cream picks it up, you can get some even more distant effects. So the cooler colours always go to the background, they always push backwards. And our warmer colours, that's a wiggly one coming down here. Perhaps you can hear the little robin in the background now singing just outside. Down the outside of this tree a little. There's the dark bits in. Right, so we've got to start building up our greens now, I reckon. We've got a lot of our detail work done. And I can do that with a round brush as well. I could use the small brush to stipple, but I want to actually paint a lot of these leaves in with the round brush stippling. And I use the square brush to come down around here and do the stuff on the grass and on the bottom here. So let's mix up some mid-green that we need. I suspect it's going to be the lemon yellow again.